we will reach out to you and make sure that that information is put out so that you'll know what's going on throughout the day. That being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the word for today. All praises to the Most High. And we're thankful and grateful for another opportunity to come before you all again. We're asking that you keep each other lifted up in prayer, including Elder Anais as she's recovering and going through her healing journey. But we're going to go ahead and get into this word. Not sure how long I'll be before you today. Famous last words. But we shall be before you and do Yahavah's will and be ready to praise him in everything that we have been given, every opportunity. Let everything that has breath praise Yahavah is, in fact, something that we not only live by. It's not just virtual, it is our reality. So if you're able to rise to your feet in reverence of Yahavah's word, or however you're able to reverence the word, we thank you for doing so in advance. And I will say our Bible pledge, and we shall get started. Give me, as we're standing to our feet, I'm just finishing up, making sure this is out for us on Patreon. Okay. Once again, if you're able to rise to your feet in reverence of Yahavah's word, or however you're able to reverence the word, we thank you for doing so in advance. And we are ready to go. All praises to the Most High. All right. Our Bible pledge is as follows. This is my Bible. This is my sword. And this will I trust. For Yahashua is Lord. No sword of God shall ever be heard. For this is my Bible. And this is Yah's word. Adsham Yahavah. Aman. Yahavah Shem, his name is authority. Let it be done unto us. You may be seated to go back to what you're doing in the presence of the Most High Yah. Aman. Thank you again, everybody, for being on with us. We appreciate your presence. Today, we're going to get right into it. The theme, if you will, if you need this to be a theme, if this is a war cry, whatever this is the Holy Spirit gives to you, how she gives it to you. Today's theme is, I'll kill him dead. I'll kill him dead. I know we know that from a bunch of different stuff, right? from movies and different people who play on that movie. But today, I'll kill him dead. Sometimes when it comes to spirit, sometimes when it comes to different things that are going on in our lives, we need to have a spirit where we're ready to go to war. And if necessary, I'll kill him dead. If necessary, I'll make sure that the Most High is honored and glorified in what's going on. If necessary, I'll kill him dead. Right? I'll kill any spirit that comes against the Most High. Right? Christ says it like this. He says that every tree that my Father has not planted, I believe this is Matthew 15, every tree that my Father hath not planted must be plucked up by the root. If I pluck up a tree by its root, my brother, my sister, I'm killing it dead. It's not connected to its source. We have the right, according to our Bible, I believe this is Isaiah chapter 54, that no weapon formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against us shall be condemned, for this is the inheritance of Israel. That's what it says. This is my inheritance, that no weapon formed against me. See, when I'm Israel, I'm not just Israel for no reason. I'm not just Israel because it's a nice thing to say. I'm not just Israel because, well, I know the church ain't running right, but at least I'm not in the church no more. No. When I say that no weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper, and every tongue that rises against me shall be condemned, any tongue that comes against me trying to say something that is not of Christ, I'll kill it dead. Any tongue that tries to say that what my family is called to do, that we're not called to do, we kill it dead. Right? We have the authority to do so. Have you taken time out in your prayer life and in your war cries and in that private spaces in your room, right, to kill dead the spirit that messes up your marriage? Even if that spirit be in you. Oh, man. I'm talking to Kofi right now. There's some things that every once in a while you got to kill in yourself, right? Are there some things that you can make sure that you kill dead? Have you decided, and I know we're not supposed to use that word. It's the podcast today, though, so we running different today, right? I kill him dead. I'm not playing nice with a spirit that's trying to mess up my family. What you talking about? We're not playing nice with that. We play for keeps over here. We're not playing nice with a spirit that tries to get my family to be on drugs. We kill it dead. We're not playing nice for the spirit that's trying to take the life of our family members and make them sick. We kill it dead. We're not playing nice with any of that. no matter who it comes from. And you're going to have a mentality that you're at war, my brother, my sister, because you are. And there's persons that'll come around you. No, you shouldn't really look at it like that. No, you shouldn't really. And look, I know there's a time and a place. I know there's levels to it. I know that we shouldn't escalate. Right? There's escalations, levels of escalation of force. I get all that. Right? At the same time, though, there's some things that where it just has zero place. Some things that you're going to have to walk in this walk. There are certain things that they have zero place. Salah. Right? There are certain things that you have allowed in your life that make you feel like a zero, but really should have zero place. Oh, come on, somebody. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it a thou. How many times are we allowing spirits or persons or beliefs or thought processes or still trying to peer over the fence? We say we belong to the kingdom, but we'll peer over the fence of leftists or rightists every once in a while. We say we're done with the church, but we'll peer over the fence to support somebody who's preaching on something and they don't believe what you believe. We say we're done with Thanksgiving, but we'll peer over the fence. I haven't, it is tough not being around family. And then we won't make sure that we build family that we are called to have. If you say that these are your brothers and sisters, then why is it that you're missing opportunity to be with your brothers and sisters? Right? There's something that we got to kill dead. It doesn't belong here. It doesn't belong to life. Some of this witchcraft, where we on 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 25, 30, 45, 50 medications. That's witchcraft. That's pharmakia. That's pharmacy. And yet we can't wait to go. Sometimes you got to go. I get it. But sometimes we can't wait to go. Because we believe more in the witchcraft than we do in the Most High, who created natural medicine all around us and beauty and holiness. There are persons all around the world who have contacted my residence because of my wife and what she does. And they'll, be in there talking about stuff. Oh yeah, I want to make sure I talk to her about herbs and herbalism and stuff. And then you listen to them talk, and they're not really trying to do those things. They still have a mindset where they're like, yeah, well, my doctor says this, and my doctor, well, okay, and no offense, no shade. My wife don't say this. I'm speaking, right? I be sitting there listening sometimes, and I'm like, well, what you call for? You calling all the way from another country and stuff. What you calling for? And you're not really actually willing to leave some of the stuff, because you're going to have to learn that, you're going to have to learn how to slowly. Now, look, you got to slowly get off of some things, right? And there's some things that obviously I would even tell you that medication is the best thing for you, depending on what your situation is, depending on the timeliness of how you need it to work and all that stuff, right? I'm not saying that nothing that's done in the doctor's office is ever of any value. We're not doing that. That being said, though, there are some, if you're coming into a different dimension, some things work in the first dimension, some things work in the second dimension, some of them don't work in the third. And you're going to have to kill the mentality. See, it's like some of you are bringing things spiritually where it worked in the first dimension, but if it worked in the first dimension, then you wouldn't be looking for a second dimension. And it maybe worked a little bit in the second dimension, but you left that because you realized it didn't work. But here it is, you trying to go to the third, the fourth, the fifth dimension, and you still trying to bring stuff in. That doesn't work. Here it is that you say that you're sealed, saved, filled with the Holy Ghost, all that stuff. And here it is that we see in your life that you're doing the same thing you were doing in the street. Forgive me, my brothers. Forgive me, my sisters. I'm not talking bad about our brethren. Or if it is, it's shoot for square if it doesn't take it off. But we can't be looking like the streets and at the same time talking about how we in the kingdom. And look, I'm down for hip hop. I'm down for, we're going to use this as a vehicle. I'm down for making sure we got the Hezekiahs out there, right? I'm down. I'm with it. What I'm saying, though, is there's a lot of cats. Listen to the lyrics and listen to what a lot of us are doing. A lot of us are even cussing and fussing just like we did before and acting like we're supposed to be more like Kendrick Lamar than we are about the children of the Most High. Kendrick is out there acting like the same persons you say that he hates. He's doing the same stuff. And he's literally under the same record labels. This is an antichrist type spirit to where everybody will ignore the stuff that he's doing. If you're going to listen to the lyrics, at least be true about the lyrics that are negative. At least make sure that you can separate and say, yeah, you know what? He's most known by many for being the person who did the same thing that y'all say that y'all hate that J. Cole and Drake did, right? Or what about persons who are in society and we go, oh, because she's Nigerian, it's okay for her to be a witch and it's okay for her to be, extremely unhealthy. And it's okay for her to be able to do stuff and kind of grooming Ariana Grande and do some stuff. Let's keep it a buck. I don't even know her name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Whatever her name is, a Nigerian sister that was raised in England that played the Wicked Witch or whatever they call her. I don't know. I didn't see the movie, but played her in those Wicked movies that came out. And we're not going to be honest and open and upfront about the fact that this stuff we shouldn't be supporting somebody doing these things, but we let it fly because she's black. We let it fly because she says, well, they took away, they stripped us of our Afrocentric religiosity. Okay, but not every type of Afrocentric religiosity is true. Just because you're African, just because you're Nigerian, just because you're Nigerian from England, doesn't mean you get to speak down on so-called African Americans and tell them that everything that they know is false and stuff either. We should call it out, but because she's black, we say, okay, whatever. We let stuff ride, but we need to have a mindset where we kill it dead. I see you, Sister Shima. Right? We need to have a mindset where we kill it dead. Some of that stuff we ain't rocking with. And if you've been rocking with it, don't rock with it no more. Or no more. Right? Some of this stuff, it needs to be dead. The reason why you're looking at your friend like that, who should be your friend in the kingdom, but you look at friends or persons who are not friends and give them more leeway, is because there's certain things spiritually you got to kill dead. Certain things that are brought to the altar. If we bring it to the altar, it's supposed to be sacrificed. It's supposed to be given up, or something must be sacrificed on its behalf so that thing that deserves death is not attached to us. Why are we bringing things to the altar, but we don't want nothing to die? Somebody help me, please. Why are we bringing things to the altar and we don't want nothing to die? I want to be the same as I've always been, but I don't want anything to die. I want to be better in my marriage, but I don't want part of me to die. I want to make sure that I get more finances, but I don't want certain things that are inept in me that have nothing to do with financial reproduction to die. I want to make sure that I get to higher heights and I'm over persons, but I don't want to be mature and my immaturity needs to die. I want to make sure that I'm the woman of Yah. That means that the woman I was might need to die. That I want to be a living sacrifice and take care of my family as a man, but I don't want anybody to tell me not to be manly in the worldly sense because I don't want to die. But guess what? You're going to be a living sacrifice. That means I'm always dying, and the more I die in my flesh, the more I live in the spirit. I got to kill him dead. So I talked to the old Kofi and even the present Kofi and even the future Kofi has got a lot of growing to do. It has a lot of dying to do so that he might live. I'm talking to you today. You can talk to yourself, right? But I speak a word of life over those who want to touch and agree. But I'm just being honest. I'm gonna talk to me first, right? If you touch and agree with this, and you touch and agree. But today I kill the anger issues of Kofi. Today I kill the lack of proper eating habits. Today I kill the habits that might cause me to possibly go back to lust. Today, yesterday, and forevermore, I kill anything that makes me think that I am less than what the Most High says I am. Today, I kill the things that cause me to not be the father that I could be. Today, I kill the things that cause me not to be the leader that I could be. Today, I kill the things that I need to kill within myself before I worry about the chaff in somebody else's eye. What about the beam that clearly is hanging out of mine? Today, I'm able to get to a place where I start killing and killing and killing, not kill them all dead. And anybody who tries to allow that Kofi to exist or tries to lift that Kofi up, I will kill you dead too. Those anti-sober thoughts, kill them dead. Those unaliving of self thoughts, kill them dead. Those we can't be one thoughts, kill them dead. Is there another way? Is there another truth? There is another life. We kill them dead. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's all right to kill. There's righteous indignation. There's things that was going to kill. I'm not saying it's right to kill human beings. I got to make sure because it's recorded. So record me on that too. Right? But it's all right to kill some spirits in you and some spirits in your house and some spirits in your life and some spirits off your children and some spirits off your great-great-grandparents. When you're breaking generational curses, you're breaking the curses that are on you because they're attached to your grandparents. When you break them off you, that means you got to break them off your family. It is necessary. And by the way, that might seem unfair, but that's the way it works. The weak link in the chain affects the strongest link in the chain. If you got two rusted links right next to each other on the strongest of chains, I'm going to focus on the rusted ones. And it might not be fair, but it is what it is. You're attached to it. If we don't make sure that we get some WD-40 and present that thing together, or at least put two brand new links in place of those rusted ones, it ain't but a matter of time. Even if somebody don't know what they're doing, at some point, it's a matter of time. That's right. Any thoughts to separate us from the Most High, right? It's a matter of time. So if we want to go ahead and get rid of that, make sure the chain remains strong, then you got to at least admit that the rust is there and that a change is necessary. Something got to die. You got a rat infestation and don't want nothing to die. You at war. You're going to have to learn to look at some dead rats. I'm from New York originally, as far as a child. If you want a lot of spots back then, I don't know about today, I'm just being honest, back then where I was living, and we didn't live in the so-called poor place, but still had some issues. At an early age, if you're going to help make sure that the house is cleansed of rats, guess what you got to do? You got to be willing to see them dead. I don't even like seeing dead things, but do you want the rats, or you want freedom? You want cleanliness? I don't like seeing roaches that are dead. I don't even like stepping on, especially the big, huge roaches. I grew up with huge roaches. Roaches that be sitting up, pulling up next to you, talking to you at the table and everything. Bold. Asking you if you want that last piece of fruit on your plate. Bold roaches. But if you want to make sure it's clean, you got to learn how to kill them dead. You got to learn how to use things that are poisonous to them and make sure that you realize and stuff that you don't allow the same poison to infiltrate you simultaneously. There's some spiritual things in your life right now. There's some spiritual rats, there's some spiritual rodents, there's some spiritual roaches. And if you say, "Ooh, that's gross, I don't want to think about it like that," it's grosser in the spirit than it is in the physical. Oh my greatness. I need to say that again. Somebody need to hear that. If you don't like what I'm saying and the words that I'm using, and you're saying, "Oh, that's a gross picture," I need you to comprehend it. It's grosser in the spirit. It's grosser to put unclean things on the altar than it is to have in your house. Salah. It's gross. It's not supposed to be there. You know why? You know why fecal matter smells? It smells due to the fact that you're not supposed to be around it. It's inside of you. It comes out of you because it's supposed to be discarded. That's the reason it smells. Right? That's the reason you cleanse yourself of it. That's the reason you don't want to see any traces of it anywhere on any clothes. You teach your babies from when they're young, hey, please do this, please do that. Please wipe yourself properly. Please go front to back. Right? You do those things because you don't want any remnants of stuff in certain pockets, in certain places of the body. You don't, right? I know it's gross. I know we don't want to hear it. I'm just being honest, right? I got to do what Holy Spirit told me to do and say what she told me to say. Now, the reason I'm saying it is because it's grosser in the spirit that we don't think about it. You got spirits hanging on, clinging on, spiritual things that are leaving streaks all over your life. You got spiritual things to where somebody might as well have reached into these disgusting, wicked, decrepit places and wiped them all over your walls, and you're trying to live inside of this stuff. It's grosser in the spirit than it is even in the flesh. And imagine what's happening to your soul. You know, in the midst of it, in the mesentery of the body of Christ, and how they're getting all this gunk up in there, and nobody's acting right, and nobody doing what they're supposed to do, and nobody's living righteously, and all this stuff is just sitting there. Nothing's being digested because our digestive system might as well be turned off, or at least we must recognize that the gallbladder done been removed, right? They done took out the gallbladder, they done took out this, they done took out that, they done took out all these different things. You sitting up there not at 100%. We're sitting up there as a community not at 100% because we're not making sure certain things need to be killed dead, or certain things are inside. Look, you need to go ahead and make sure you get some stuff to get your soul in order, that gut health. You know, the soul, even in the Bible, is even linked to the kidneys. The heart is your passion. The soul is linked to your kidneys. Did you know that? What do the kidneys do? The kidneys flush out waste. And if you got too much alcohol, you got too much spirits, guess what? Those spirits inside of you do, they start to attack the kidney, they start to attack your soul. And so now your soul can't filter the waste that trying to make its way from the flesh into the spirit, or even some of the waste that's in the spirit that's trying to make its way into your flesh. Come on, be sober-minded, be vigilant, right? Your enemy, the devil, is like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Your soul is on the line. Anything that comes against your nachivash, anything that comes against the K, I kill him dead. You ready to go to war? Because it's going to take war tactics. You ain't killing your enemy and you ain't ready to go ahead and you ain't got no arrows in your quiver. You ain't ready to kill your enemy and your sword ain't together. You ain't ready to kill your enemy and your enemy's going for the head and you ain't got no helmet of salvation being worked out yet. You ain't ready to fight. If you're going to be in the spirit and war in the spirit, everybody talks about our war in the spirit. Fine. How much stuff are you ready to kill? If you're ready to war in the spirit, how many spirits are you ready to kill? How many idols are you ready to kill? That's when you can actually listen to some of this music. Some of us shouldn't be listening to any of this music until first we stop making idols out of the musicians and idols out of the person. See, once we realize, oh, okay, so-and-so can actually have a bad song. See, some of you don't think that somebody can have a bad song because they're your idol, right? Some of you don't think that anything they say is wrong because they're your idol. Some of these preachers out here, you don't think can never make a mistake because they're your idol, right? Some of you think that even, can I just say a service of Christ thing real quick? I know we don't normally do this from the preaching pulpit and stuff. I just got to be obedient. Some of you aren't reaching out to the ministers in your region because you made an idol out of me. Well, I got to go to Pastor Kofi first. I got to go to Pastor Kofi. I got to go to Pastor Kofi. You won't call the person in your region, right? We got to be careful with that. I'm not an idol either. And anybody who tries to make me one, I kill that spirit dead. That's why I say I don't like fans. When somebody comes on mad, Pastor Kofi, I'm your biggest fan. I don't want fanatics. We shouldn't even be fanatics of Yahavah. We should be persons who have come into the knowledge of who he is and out of intimacy with him have seen this stuff to be true. And therefore we work with our husband, right? And are obedient to the word rather than being persons who are just out here saying whatever, and just because it's Team Jesus no matter what. So yeah, when you get to this place, I'll kill him dead. Even anybody who would try to make me an idol, hey, I'm not. Somebody say something crazy about me, this and that. Hey, look. Oh, they say something, man. You know what, man? Forget the Pasco, blah, blah, blah. Look, they're still human beings. We forgive them. We move on. I'm not an idol. And by the way, I've made mistakes. So even if I'm not, wrong about what they say and I'm wrong about, there's still a possibility I can be wrong about something. I kill them dead. I kill that thing in me that says that I'm more than what Yah says. Because without him, I can do nothing anyways. You hear what I'm saying? Right? What are you willing to kill today? It's time to go. It's hunting season for these demonic spirits out here. This is the last thing I got for you guys today. I told you it's going to be quick. 1 Timothy chapter 3. Or 2 Timothy, excuse me. 2 Timothy chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 1. Maybe we'll go through verse 8, 9. I'm not sure. Last thing I got for y'all today. Thank you so much. Prayerfully, we'll see you guys for the stuff we got going on later. But this is the last thing I got. And by the way, we'll try to put out a schedule as soon as we finish this so that you guys can see what the schedule is for the rest of the day. And you guys can, know what's happening and be on point for whatever's coming for the rest of the day and know what's on schedule. All right. So check that out. It'll be in your Google Calendar invite right after we finish with this today, after the music finishes. All right. I keep saying 1 Timothy. That talks about me. I need to get myself together. 2 Timothy chapter 3. All right. Y'all ready? 2 Timothy chapter 3. Not sure how many verses we're going to read, but we're going to do it real quick. Kind of line upon line, precept upon precept, but we, for the most part, going to let this read. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 says this. It says, this know also. You need to know this. This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. So you need to be intimate with that. Know that perilous times shall come. Verse 2, for men shall be lovers of their own selves. Are you there yet? Have you seen that yet? Have some of us had to come out of that? Yep. Covetous, always wanting something that doesn't belong to you, rather than knowing that Yahavah provides your needs according to his riches and glory. Boasters, always talking about, man, you know what I did? How many people I preached in front of? You know how many degrees I have? Proud. You can't tell me nothing. Blasphemers, saying that they represent Christ, or even saying they are Christ, or even trying nowadays to say they're the Messiah or represent the Messiah, and they do not. And even blasphemers saying that they are us and are not. Same word is used there. Disobedient to parents. Ain't trying to listen to nothing your parents got to say. Unthankful. There's always, you ain't this, you ain't this, you ain't this, but can never say thank you. And, well, why should I thank you for this? That's easy. That's basic. Unholy. Not one with the Most High. Not set apart. Not Hakodash. Antichrist. Without natural affection. You would think that persons would have in their nature, that sisters in their nature, that brothers in their nature would have more affection. Not really. Truce breakers. False accusers. Incontinent. Fierce. Despisers of those that are Tabah. Wait a minute. If I'm Tabah, there are persons that not only dislike me, they despise me. Can I just show you something real quick? This Greek word for despise. Despise, not just dislike. They despise. I mean, there's a spirit out there that despises me. Oh my greatness. There's a spirit that what? That despises me. I don't want to leave that alone. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 3, we're going to look up this word despise real quick. You ready? You ready for it? When you look up this word, hold on one second. I'm having an issue. It really isn't even the word, all the words that we think. It's one word that's used in the Greek, and I'm going to be honest, I can't really pronounce it that well. I think it's aphilogathos, right? Which is talking about like anti-feel, which is like what you guys have, Philadelphia, brotherly love, right? It's basically talking about anti-brotherly love. I hope I pronounced that correctly, aphilogathos. And it basically, so that's just even looking at the word structure, right? The structure of the word, we can already see in the beginning, it's the antithesis of brotherly love. But it basically turns out to be this word is used to talk about if you are opposed to any kind of righteousness or any kind of righteous man. In other words, any kind of righteousness ticks you off. So when it tells you they are despisers of those that are Tabah, it's literally saying righteousness makes these persons upset. Verse 4, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of Elohim, having a form of Elohim. See, you thought because you were going to service. You thought, I go to service, they go to service. They have a form of Elohim. Even the Antichrist spirit mentioned in the second beast, mentioned in Revelation chapter 13, has a form of Elohim. It says it looks like the lamb a little bit, but you got to pay attention to what it says. They have a form of Elohim, but denying the power thereof. From such repent, from such turn away. Verse 6, for of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. In verse 7, this part right here, it always blows my mind. They are ever learning. They have us ever learning. They have us ever scrolling. They have us ever watching all these movies. They have us ever being able to speak multiple languages even. They have us ever being able to know what the dopest, freshest outfit is. Ever learning, but watch this, never able to come into the knowledge of truth. Now is Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses. Now it's magicians would even withstand Moses. So do these, in the same manner that the magicians were with Moses. So do these also resist Amat, the truth. They are men of corrupt minds, reprobate concerning the faith. But they shall proceed no further. We're going to kill them dead. But cancel all that out. They shall proceed no further. For their folly, for their foolishness, for their antithesis of the word, or being antithesis to the things that we hold dear in the word. Their folly shall be manifest unto all, as theirs was also was. Everything that they try to do to us, till you do right by me, everything you're going to do is going to fail, going to come back on you. We're going to kill them dead. Amen? Amen. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Hopefully you got something out of that. That's all that I have. I'm be obedient. So we'll see you guys later. We'll try and put the schedule out right after this. We thank you again for participating in what the Most High has for us as a nation. Hashtag we be the nation. Let us stay strong and committed. And we will talk to you guys very soon. As always, we give our honor and praise to the Most High. We give our praise and honor to him for my wife, the Honorable Alma. And remember, as always, beloved, that you are loved. You're necessary. You are majestic. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. And you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in this system no longer have to be of it. Shabbat Shalom. Take care of yourselves, family. We thank you again. We honor you. And once again, hopefully this word reigns true in your hearts henceforth and forevermore. You guys take care and continue to do righteous things. We'll talk with you soon. Peace.